Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with our next reaction. In this one, we have why America once feared the Netherlands. I'm excited to jump in this and then figure out what was the situation here. Before we do, however, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to support the channel further, hit that join button, get your exclusive benefits, and let's get right to this.
This is the Netherlands. It's one of the smallest countries on Earth. So how did such a small country have enough power to shape early America? And why did America fear them? To understand this, we need to go back 400 years, when the Netherlands became a superpower. Okay, so back in 1602, the Netherlands did something absolutely insane. Look at this map. See all those lines crisscrossing the world? That's the Dutch Empire. Back then, they controlled global trade. Indonesia, Africa, America, they were everywhere. What's crazy is they did this with a company, not a government. They created a super big company with its own army, its own warships, and it could even start wars. This company was called the Dutch East India Company.
That's kind of insane. The Dutch East India Company, they could do all these things, but they were not a government. They were a company. But I think that goes to show that behind governments, I believe today, behind governments today, are companies like this Dutch East India Company that are pulling the strings of government, that are still able to start wars, go to other places, do what they want. Now, it could be wrong. There's just a little conspiracy, I think.
It made the Netherlands so powerful that Britain and early America were terrified. The Dutch had more ships than the British Navy, more money than most countries, and weren't afraid to use them. Other countries would send one ship at a time to trade and pray it didn't sink. The Dutch sent 200 ships all at once.
Gosh!
Wait, how many ships are we sending this year? 200! 200? That's more than Spain sends in 5 years!
Dang.
Clever, isn't it? While they send one ship and cross their fingers, we send so many that we don't even care if we lose a few. What if pirates attack us? Our ships have more cannons than most countries' entire navies. Pirates see us and run away screaming. We're not just selling stuff anymore, are we? Nope, we're an empire now, baby. By 16...
He said our ships got more cannons than most countries' navies. Pirates see us and run away screaming. Yeah, we not just selling the stuff no more, are we? We an empire. We going around now. We taking land. Now we planting our flag everywhere that we can. We're building an empire. More ships than the British Navy, right? They got cannons on all these ships, and they not afraid. They got sailors that's like, every other country would send a couple ships here and there. You don't want to lose too many in case it's just rough on that water, I assume. And the Dutch are like, send everybody we got. We'll probably lose a couple, but the ones that survive will be able to make up for that loss. Okay.
50, Dutch ships were everywhere. They controlled the spice trade from Indonesia, they owned trading posts in India, they had colonies in South Africa and the Caribbean.
That's crazy.
And guess what their secret weapon was?
What's that?
Ready for this? No, not guns, not more ships. It was being nice to people. Crazy, right? While other countries were kicking out Jewish people and being mean to anyone who believed different things, Amsterdam said, "Come on in, everyone's welcome." Jewish refugees came and brought banking skills. French people came and brought crafting skills. Germans came with trade connections. Everyone brought something useful, and Amsterdam became the richest city in Europe almost overnight. Then, in 1667, the Dutch did something so bold, it still sounds fake. They sailed their warships right into England's backyard, up the Thames River, and destroyed England's best ships. They even stole one and sailed it back home like a boss. But the Dutch weren't done yet. They were about to invent something even more powerful than warships. Okay, so in 1624, Dutch merchants bought Manhattan Island from the Lenape people. They traded some cloth, beads, and tools for it. Today, that same land is worth over $1 trillion. That might just be the best deal in history. Now, here's where the Dutch were different from everyone else.
That same land is worth over 1 trillion. Gosh, yeah, the Netherlands was moving different. They sending everywhere. They sending everyone everywhere to do trade, to gain land, to get all these deals done, and you got all that bread coming back. Oh, but is it really coming back if the Dutch East India is a company and not the government? It's not really coming back to the government, is it? Or does the East India Company get to keep all this without taxes since they're taking all this risk? Or what's the situation here? I would like to know that.
colonists and slaves. Now, here's where the Dutch were different from everyone else. Spanish colonists enslaved the native people. British colonists pushed them away and stole all their land. But the Dutch were nice to everyone and just wanted to trade with them so everyone could make money together. Why fight when you could make friends and get rich? A guy called Peter Minute ran the colony, and even he couldn't believe how crazy the rules were. I mean, they weren't even religious. He didn't mind what religion people were. Different cultures were protected by law. Wait, so we're just letting everyone worship however they want? Yep, Jews, Catholics, Protestants, anyone who wants to trade. But the English colonies to the north are hanging people who believe different things. And how is their economy doing? Terrible actually. Exactly. Being nice to people is good for business. But the other colonies are gonna call us crazy. What's that? I couldn't hear you over all this money we're making. By 1640, New Amsterdam.
It's crazy. You know, it's the craziest business concept on planet Earth. You know, it's almost like it was written that the golden rule was to treat others how you would want to be treated. It's almost as if it was written as love your neighbor as thyself. It's almost as if it was written as be nice to your enemies and do good and lend. It's almost like being nice was written years before, and the Dutch, instead of trying to conquer, they said, let's just be friends with everybody. It's almost as if it was written. You can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. But I think that's absolutely awesome. Nice, being nice. Yeah, go for it. I wish I wish all business models were based like that, where everyone got ahead off of helping others benefit. Like, come on. I used to have a mentor that said that the best way to get what you want is to give others what they want.
Couldn't hear you over all this money we're making. By 1640, New Amsterdam, that's what New York was called at first, was unlike any place on earth.
I ain't know
18
New York
different
was worth $1 trillion today. That's shout out New York.
languages were spoken in the streets. Black people, some enslaved, some free, lived and worked there. Jewish merchants traded to German craftsmen next to Dutch sailors. Other European colonies were very strict about religion. Everyone had to be the same. But New Amsterdam was complete chaos, and it was working. The city's streets followed the natural waterways, just like back in the Netherlands. They built canals, they built a trading spot that would later become Wall Street, and because they treated Native Americans like business partners, not enemies, nobody shot arrows at them, unlike in the Wild West. The Dutch learned their languages. They made fair deals. They traded European stuff for beaver furs and stuff. While other colonies were fighting constant wars, New Amsterdam was getting rich through teamwork. Then, in 1664, 4 British warships showed up and said, "This is ours now." The Dutch colonists looked around. They were outnumbered, nobody from the Netherlands was coming to help. So they just gave up, without fighting. The British renamed it New York, but they couldn't change what the Dutch had built.
Unfortunately, it's like when you I'm sorry. My ankle's been cramping lately, and it's just I felt the shooting pain. It's like I love the business concept of building their business off of being nice. It sucks that someone who actually invested in power came and forcefully was like, Yeah, all of this that y'all done built, we're taking it. And it's like you can't do you outnumbered, you outgunned, like you just gotta give it up. But that's okay, cause you reap what you sow.
The tolerance, the diversity, the let's make money attitude, it was all baked into the city forever. Meanwhile, back in Amsterdam, Dutch bankers were inventing something that would change the world. Okay, this next part is really important and also kinda wild. In 1602, Amsterdam invented the stock market. This was genius, and it had never been done before. The Dutch East India Company raised 6.5 million guilders. That's like raising billions today. Suddenly, regular people, not just kings, could get rich. Wait, you need money to build a ship? Yep, ships are expensive. But if you give me some money now, I will give you more money when I sell the spices. So I just hand you money and hope you come back? That's right! Think of it like this. If you give me 5 guilders now, I come back with spices, sell them for a huge profit, and give you 7 guilders back. Wait, so I make money without doing any of the work? Now you're getting it! Welcome to capitalism, buddy! And Amsterdam's bankers also figured out that money is more powerful than armies. Because armies need money.
Yeah.
Soldiers don't work for free. Cannons cost money, ships cost money. So if you control the money, you basically control everything. Amsterdam had basically become Europe's bank.
Oh.
See this? When England needed cash for wars, they went to Amsterdam to borrow it. When France ran out of money, Dutch banks loaned them some.
Dang.
Every major power on this map owed the Dutch money. The Dutch had become the Bank of Europe.
Yeah, you become essential. Nobody can really come after you with their armies because you run things, because you have so much money and you're lending to so much different countries that I'm sure some countries are going to be mad if other countries try to come after you, and it's going to be a problem because they need y'all. You become essential, so you almost guarantee your protection in a sense, and everybody owe you money. Like it. Oh. Bro, the Dutch, I guess you guys have always been innovative. You guys have always thought ahead of everybody else. You guys are always usually first to the party. It's looking like.
England was to borrow $2 million for their war with Spain. Ooh, nice. We'll charge them interest and make a fat profit. Exactly. Better than spice trading. I don't have to worry about ships sinking or pirates. And if they lose the war? Not our problem. They still have to pay us back.
Dang.
Wait, so we basically own a piece of England right now? Yep, but let's not tell them that. By 1700, Amsterdam controlled Europe's money. If you made Amsterdam mad, they could cut you off from loans, and without money, you couldn't do anything. England learned this the hard way. Even though they had the world's biggest navy, they needed Dutch money to pay for it. If Amsterdam said, no more loans, no more loans, England would be in big trouble. Then, in the 1770s, something happened that would make Britain really mad.
Uh-oh.
Some rebellious American colonists started demanding freedom, and the canny Dutch saw another chance to make some money.
Oh, my days.
So Britain was fighting the American colonists who wanted independence. Yeah, everybody knows that. But what you didn't know was that the Dutch were helping America big time. Dutch merchants were sneaking weapons to George Washington's army. They were also loaning America tons of money. Britain called this treason, the Dutch called it good business.
Yeah.
Without Dutch help, the American Revolution would have failed in like 6 months. In 1776, American colonists declared independence, and Dutch weapon sellers immediately got to work. Ships loaded with
That's insane. That's insane. But what did I say earlier? You reap what you sow. The British took New York from the Dutch, right? They came in forcefully and took it. And now you have little bit of time passes. The Dutch are now feeding America the money to gain its independence and take New York from the British. And so and I mean they're getting rich off of it too, like providing the U.S. with all of these weapons and giving all this money. And once the U.S. pays them back, it's like that. And the Brits call it treason. The Dutch is like, hey, we work with any and everybody. Whoever got money, whoever needs money, we're here.
Gunpowder sailed from Amsterdam to Dutch islands in the Caribbean. From there, smaller boats smuggled the weapons to American rebels.
Dang.
The British knew full well what was happening, but they couldn't stop it. The Dutch Navy was still super powerful. If Britain attacked Dutch ships, they'd start another war.
Your Majesty, the Dutch are giving weapons to the rebels.
Can we sink their ships?
Well, their navy could destroy half our fleet if we tried.
Then blockade their ports.
They control more ports than we do, sir.
Fine, seize their money.
We can't. We owe them millions. If we steal from them, they'll demand we pay everything back immediately. That would bankrupt England.
So we just sit here and watch them destroy our empire?
Yeah.
Unless you want to fight 2 wars at the same time?
Ah, I hate the Dutch. By 1780, the Dutch...
Big shout out to the Dutch for the role in American independence. As an American, I appreciate you. That's dope. And I knew that the Dutch helped the U.S., but it's kind of crazy. It's like, bro, the Dutch put the British in a lose-lose situation. Like, it was either they could try to turn and fight the Dutch and have to fight a war with them, and also you already owe them millions and are helping fund your army, so you need money from them. Or it's like you just got to sit back and watch and just keep fighting the Americans and keep watching them continuously be resupplied by the Dutch.
had loaned America enough money to buy millions of muskets, thousands of cannons, and basically everything an army needs. But then, an American ship sailed into the harbor of a tiny little Caribbean island called St. Eustatius. It was showing off its brand new Stars and Stripes flag. When that happened, the Dutch fort fired a cannon salute to say hello.
Oh.
This was massive. It was the first time any foreign country recognized America as a real nation.
Again,
Britain got
the
so
Dutch.
mad about this, they started a whole new war with the Dutch, called the Fourth Anglo-Dutch War,
Oh my
basically to
God.
stop them giving money to America. They attacked Dutch ships, seized their
Oh.
Caribbean islands, and tried to bankrupt Amsterdam's banks. But it was too late. The damage was done. America already had enough weapons and cash to win, and fighting the Dutch and the Americans at the same time stretched them too thin.
Yeah.
By 1784, Britain had lost. American leaders had won their independence. America! Hooray!
America.
All right! And now they had to build a brand new country. And because the Netherlands were so feared and powerful, they decided to base America's financial system on Amsterdam's. So Alexander Hamilton, who was a founding father of America, traveled to Amsterdam to study their banking system. He walked through the stock exchange, asking how it all worked. Wait, so your money just grows by itself? Yep, we don't just stuff gold in a vault like kings do. We put it to work. We make loans, we invest, the money makes more money. And anyone can do this? Not just rich people? A farmer with a little bit of money has the same chance as a prince with a fortune. Surely that would never work in Europe, though. They care too much about fancy titles and royal blood. Which is precisely why Amsterdam got rich, while other countries stayed broke. America needs this. We don't have kings holding us back. Then you'll be more powerful than all of us. We're stuck with old world thinking. You're not. By 1800,
I mean, sometimes that absolutely is the benefit of youth. To be stuck with old, to everybody else is stuck with old world thinking while you're new. Like, you don't have all of the years and years and years of programming of this is how things work and this is how things go and we should do it this way. No, like, you just gain your independence and you get to build this country the way you want. And now so you go and learn from other countries that are great at certain things and you bring those methods that have allowed them to be successful in those areas. You bring them all to your country and it's like, dang. That's pretty dope. That's pretty awesome. And that is absolutely one of the benefits of youth.
New York looked super Dutch. The streets still followed these old Dutch canal patterns. Wall Street was built in the exact same spot where Dutch merchants used to trade. Trinity Church stood where Dutch ministers used to preach. Even the Declaration of Independence borrowed ideas from a Dutch document written 200 years earlier. Thomas Jefferson the Dutch influence didn't stop in New York. In 1847, a group of Dutch settlers founded a town in Michigan and called it Holland. Today, it still feels like you're walking through the Netherlands. Windmills, tulip festivals, Dutch architecture everywhere. It's basically a little piece of Amsterdam dropped right into the Midwest. By 1850, America's economy had grown bigger than the Netherlands. And by 1900, Wall Street controlled more money than Amsterdam could dream of. The incy-wincy country that Britain and the old America once feared had created a giant. Insane, right? But you know what's even wilder? North Korea. Over there, every family has to collect 1 ton of human poop every single year by law. Click here to learn the crazy history of North Korea. I'll see you over there.
What do you mean 1 ton of human poop by law? That's 2,000 pounds of human. No. What? What? Yeah, that's different. Okay. That video was great. Shout out to the Dutch, bro. Y'all gave America the blueprint. Y'all helped America gain independence. Y'all was out here building an empire through kindness, through fairness. Through fairness and kindness, y'all were creating a massive empire. Then y'all said, you know what? Everybody else is investing in armies. We're going to invest in money because armies need money. Therefore, if we are needed by all of these armies, we kind of control them in a sense. Bro, the Dutch was out here they was out here picking the power players. It was out, and then the U.S. came along, and the Dutch rode for them, and the U.S. was like, well, how y'all do, like, everything y'all do? And it's like, oh, yeah, this how we do. Oh, for real? And they took it back to the U.S. and just you have much more people and a much bigger landmass in a sense. So you can create much more opportunity. And so they basically took what the Dutch did and just applied it to a larger scale. And of course, it gave larger results. That's incredible. So it seems like America should be thanking the Dutch a lot. So appreciate y'all. Today, life is expensive over here, but appreciate y'all for helping America with the independence and giving America the blueprint on how to make your money make money. That's all we have. I hope you guys enjoyed. If so, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one.